Classification of buildings. According to the National Building Code of India, based upon the occupancy of buildings, they are classified into nine groups. The first group, that is Group A, it is the residential building. In the first picture, it shows the residential building. Here, people reside and they stay there. It can be of a one family or a two family private dwellings. It can be a lodging or rooming houses in an accommodation of not more than 15 persons. Then it can also be dormitories for school and colleges, then apartment flats, and even for hotels. Hotels which include for more than 15 persons, which are on a temporary basis. That means they do not reside permanently in hotels. So all these they fall under residential buildings. Now the next picture, it is the educational buildings which falls under group B. So any building which includes the buildings which are used for school or colleges, in which the students they stay there for more than 8 hours per week for education, they all fall under educational building. The next picture, that is group C, it is the institutional buildings. In the institutional buildings, they include the hospital buildings, then the custodial institution, and even the home care for infants. All these they fall under institutional building. Even the old age houses for the aged people. Now, the next picture, that is group D, it is the assembly building. By the word assembly, um, to assemble, it means people gather there. People gather there for, let's say, for theaters, in cinemas, in the auditorium, in the museum, exhibition hall, restaurant, then places of worship, for religious purposes. Okay, all these falls under assembly building. Now in the next slide, okay, that is group E. These are business building. Okay, this business building they keep accounts and records of the purposes that they are using for their own objective. They are called business building. The next picture, that is group F, is the mercantile building. Okay, these mercantile buildings they are used for shops, for stores, for market, and either for wholesale or retail purposes. Now the next picture you can see very clearly that these are the industrial building. They fall under group G. And these industrial building, it can be any assembly plant, or it can be a dry cleaning plant or factory or pumping station or smoke houses or glass plant or even dairy industry. Now the next picture, that is group H, these are called storage building. These storage building they are used for storing warehouses, then for storehouses for stock, or it can even use as a garages and so on. Now the last group, that is group I, these are called hazardous buildings. From the picture you can see very clearly that these are buildings which are made specifically designed for storing for explosive materials, and for handling, and even for manufacturing of some highly corrosive materials, and also other liquids or chemicals which are flammable and explosive, and even poisonous and irritating and corrosive gases which are harmful when when they are used and stored not in a proper